and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder, and his amazing hacks. 3 weeks ago, in my last gold making video, I received a comment from a guy calling himself Ririoku, who claimed that you could receive 500 gold per run from the Skyreach dungeon located in Draenor, and claimed he could do it in only 4 minutes. Now, I was a bit skeptical about this. Much as I love this beautifully designed dungeon, one of the most beautiful in the game, it seemed too far out of the way and too awkward to run to be the best source of raw gold, which by implication was what Ririoku was saying. But it turns out there are some simple tricks here that you can use which do in fact indeed make this verifiably the best dungeon or instance to run for raw gold in terms of gold per minute invested. Now let's make this clear at the start. By raw gold, I mean actual gold that comes straight from bosses and trash, but also the vendor value of all items that drop in the dungeon. So for example, if a boss drops say 25 gold and a weapon that can be vended for 50 gold, then I'd count that as 75 gold for these purposes. Now, to get to Skyreach, Alliance players will need to fly to the spires of Iraq to the Flightmaster location Apixis Excavation. For Horde, you'll want to fly to Axfall. I'm just going to show you how to get to the instance entrance as it's rather hidden away. Now, when you first enter Skyreach, you get this protracted flight on the back of this raven and a bit of roleplay. It's very atmospheric and adds to the ambience, but it takes 37 seconds, which is a significant addition to the total time it takes to get through the dungeon. There's a simple trick to get around this, and to do this you'll need to open 2 clients. A client is the program that plays World of Warcraft. You can open 2 clients by clicking play on your Battle.net app twice. Enter Skyreach as normal, and then switch to the other client and log in. This will log you out of the first client automatically, and you'll find when you log in on the second, you bypass the roleplay altogether and are at the start of the dungeon. This will save you between 20 to 30 seconds. Now proceed on through the dungeon. It is best to pull the trash to the first and second bosses and kill and loot them all in a big pile for efficiency purposes. I'm not actually going to do that here, so you can get a clear view of what I'm going to do next. So when we get to the stairwell between the second and third bosses, there's an interesting trick we can pull which significantly speeds up the dungeon. If you look to your right, you'll see this wall of wind. This significantly slows you down if you run through it normally. I did a bit of googling and found a video by a guy called CTR Alt Delicious, who found that Hunter Barrage could be used to attack one of the mobs above the stairwell, which automatically cancels the wind wall. In fact, many abilities do the same thing, including any target reticle ability such as Mage Flame Strike. The mob in question's name is Whirling Dervish. Direct targeting doesn't work, it has to be some kind of ranged AoE effect. Classes with some kind of pet can send it in to attack the Dervish. The pet is not affected by the wind wall. Now I'm going to stand a bit further back and demonstrate clearly how this works, and then I'm going to follow up in slow motion. If you keep your eyes on the wind wall to your left as the flame strike kills the mob on the higher tier, you can see it vanish. With a bit of practice, you should be able to do this almost instantaneously. Once you've killed the trash and the third boss, Ruakar, you'll find the gate opens and you can just walk normally up the steps without your progress being slowed. This will save you between 20 and 50 seconds depending on your class and movement abilities. All that remains is to kill and loot the High Sage and then exit the dungeon. Unlike most similar dungeons, you don't need to use any special tricks to exit the dungeon quickly. You can just get the Dread Raven back to the entrance. In particular, don't use the Help Unstuck trick that just transports you into the middle of the dungeon and then you'll have to run out. Now, how much is all this actually worth? Running this dungeon 10 times, I received 4,344 gold. in straight gold and the value of the items I vended. I vended everything from those 10 runs. Now, if you remember, Ririoku was claiming that he could make 500 gold per run, so it seems that he had a small amount of additional luck, but well within the margins of statistical error. Now, a very fast class can run this dungeon in 2 minutes, or maybe even less with a speed set. For slower classes, you can still do it in under 4 minutes. And that makes Skyreach the best source of raw gold in the game. Even better than Iron Docks. Iron Docks, you will actually make more gold in absolute terms before lockout, but you won't make it as fast. There remains an issue with farming Skyreach in that it is not that near anything else worth farming after you've hit lockout. One thing that helps a bit is whenever you exit the instance, look to see if the world boss Rukmar is up. Every 15 minutes he spawns and flies around the spires of Iraq near the entrance to Skyreach. This is the world boss version of Rukmar, not to be confused with the version within the Skyreach dungeon itself. Now, you can make a lot more than 4,400 gold per lockout from Skyreach if you sell the bind and equip items on the auction house. It will, however, take a long time to sell, and for whatever reason, people do not seem interested in doing that, so I'm not going to focus on it here. But bear in mind, this is actually one of the best dungeons to sell transmog items from if you are interested in doing that. Now, to cover a question which always gets asked when I make this type of video, yes, you are using exploits, but no, you're not going to get banned for this type of activity. It's legacy content and Blizzard just don't care that much. And I doubt, frankly, that they have the means to detect it. If you've got a taste for the type of glitch I use in this video, bear in mind this is very much the tip of a huge iceberg. We have literally dozens of similar but more powerful techniques on my Patreon if you're interested in subscribing to that service, which I'll link directly to below in the description. That said, if you can't afford it or you just don't want to subscribe for whatever reason, then bear in mind I'm committed to uploading the best possible free content on this channel for the foreseeable future. Thanks for watching. This has been Archfelder.
Submit, peasants, to the might of the great Ogre!